Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of A Handful of Hope. I am so happy and grateful to have Anne-Marie with us today, who is someone who's passionate about creating a life of her dreams. Anne-Marie has spent years researching the blueprints of success. She knew there was more to life than just existing. She knew that with the right tools, she could learn to intentionally create a life that would matter and make a difference in the world. And with an abundance of financial resources, she could serve the needs of others as well as her own. She's the CEO of several companies with over 600 employees. After spending over 2 decades working as a teacher and administrator, developing educational programs for her community, she learned what truly drives people and how to bring out the best in her teams. She has mastered how to connect with people in a way that brings out the best in them and teaches them how to become servant leaders that bring out the best in their teams. Anne-Marie, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited for this conversation.
Thank you, too. Sorry, I hit a button and it went away. Hold on a second.
No worries at all. Technical
Uh-oh.
difficulties are what make these things
I know.
exciting.
Oh, there we go. So sorry about that. Okay. Oh, there, I'm back. Thank you for
Hey,
having me. I'm super excited about chatting with you this morning.
yeah. I'm so excited. And if our offline conversation is going to be anything like what this online is, I think everybody's going to be in for such a treat because your your magic is really about creating crazy amazing, right? And I love that expression, crazy amazing. Talk to us just a little bit. What is crazy amazing?
So the whole idea of Crazy Amazing started with my 2 kids and my niece. I wanted to give them a platform to be able to serve others, pay it forward, if you would. So we were talking one day and said, okay, what are we going to call this? And the kids were like, we want it to be outstanding. We want it to be great. We want it to be good. We want it to be amazing. And then my niece says, let's level that. Let's move it up. Here's amazing, but then crazy takes it to that next level. So Crazy Amazing was born. We trademarked it. So we're excited to be able to use that as a phrase to just stand out. You know, there's people that are amazing, but when you're crazy amazing, you just like are up a level or
Yeah.
2 or 3. So that's what that started with. And we launched a t-shirt company where they could design shirts and sell them online. And the proceeds from that would be used for them to do random acts of kindness. So whether it was paying for the people behind us at Starbucks or paying for somebody's groceries or more recently buying food for people who are elderly and shut-ins and can't get out and shop, using that money to buy food for them and then deliver it to them. So it started off as an opportunity to do random acts of kindness. Now it's a book franchise, and it's just we just had a vehicle wrapped that says Crazy Amazing with signs that say be kind, pay it forward, and hopefully as people see it in our community, they're inspired to do great things for other people.
I love that. Why why is it important for you to teach your kids about the importance of random acts of kindness? What does that mean to you as a parent and to them as children?
It's everything. I grew up uh, with an immigrant mom and my dad who taught us that you've got to take care of people. Once a month, they would drive my sister and brother and I to Tijuana, and we would load up the station wagon at the time or van with food and supplies to clean up this orphanage that they had adopted, basically. And that was our life. We spent 3 weeks, weekends of the month gathering clothes from friends and packing up food, and we would spend a whole weekend out there every month. I wanted that for me taught me how to take care of other people, but it also taught me the joy that comes from giving to people who can give nothing back to you. And as a young child, that was instilled in me. So as my kids were growing up, it wasn't as easy to get them over to Mexico to do that. So I looked for ways for them to give back and to be responsible for their community, feel a responsibility that because they are blessed with resources, to give them that opportunity to share it. So to me, I want kids who, if they see somebody hungry, they quickly ask, what can I do to help? If they see somebody who needs something, or if they even take their friends to lunch, I want them to be the first ones to say, I'll take care of the bill. So teaching them through this company was the best way I knew how, and to model that for them.
That's incredible. How have you seen that shape their identity as children as they grow up? Having that as a I guess like a foundational lesson of life for them.
They've, I'm, not because they're my children, but but they are
No
my
bias,
children. No,
right?
no bias. They are pretty amazing, crazy amazing. My daughter's 16, our son's 15, and they're, our daughter's on track to be a professional golfer. But if you meet her, she is the most humble, mild, modest person you'd ever meet. My son's the same way. He wants to be a professional baseball player. But, and they have access to resources that I didn't have as a child. And they, if you ask my son, especially my son, Michael, are you rich? He's like, nope, because I don't have a penny to my name. He says, it's my mom and dad, and I'm really thankful to live with them. And as long as I stay on track and I, do well in school and become a good person, I get to enjoy the life that we have. So they're not their possessions, they're not their things, and we instill that in them all the time. I want people to know you because you're compassionate, because you're generous, because you're kind, because you're loving, not because of things.
One thing I've been chatting with a lot of people about is one of the greatest gifts that somebody may be able to gift themselves during this time of pause is to really take inventory on dreams, specifically their dreams. I think that so many people are tragically not living lives of their dreams, or not even proactively creating them, because they're operating on that autopilot of they have to do this, they have to do this, they have to do it this way, they have to do it this way, and that's it. Well, now all of a sudden there's a stop, and the way things have always been done aren't working anymore. And it's a wonderful time for reflection and inflection, right? To look in and look at, and somebody who's so passionate about creating your life, your dreams, if somebody who's listening to this, and I told you, I hold this intention that the person who needs to hear and see this is watching this right now. And it's somebody who is really considering, like, what are my dreams? What does the life of my dreams look like? What guidance can you offer that person?
You got to dream. You got to dream big. Your dreams have to scare you. And one of my books that's coming out is called You Only Get What You Order. And I compare dreaming and designing your life like going to a restaurant. So let's say, Jesse, I invite you to lunch and I say, let's go to your favorite place. Where would you go? Where would you want to go?
I'd really want to go to sushi right now. I've been missing sushi.
Okay, perfect. So we're going for sushi.
Okay.
We get there. The waitress comes up and says, what would you like? Go ahead, order your sushi.
I would say, what is the chef's specialty?
Okay. So let's make one up.
The post-quarantine roll.
Perfect. So you order that. What kind of drink would you like?
You know what? I would be in a celebratory mood now, so I would definitely get a cold Sapporo.
Perfect. So waitress takes your order, goes and places the order. Now, is there any doubt that you're going to get what you ordered?
No.
They're not going to bring you pizza or a burger or onion rings. They're going
Yeah.
to get you exactly what you ordered. The other part is you're not going to chase that waitress down and put your order in over and over and over again and ask her, you know, where did the seaweed leaves come from? Do you know what ocean those came from? Where did the rice come from? You don't even ask that. You put the order in, you forget it, you're going to get it, right? So now let's go back to same waitress comes up to you and says, what would you like tonight? And you look at her, you say, you know, I'm such a simple guy. I'm not complicated. I'll take whatever.
Hmm.
And she says, well, it doesn't work that way. You got to be a little bit more specific. And you insist, nope, you know, I'm a really simple guy. Doesn't really matter. Give me whatever. So she brings you, and she says, well, what about the drink? Whatever. She most likely is going to give you what she thinks you might like. And it might be based on what she likes. So she might just like a simple California roll where you don't like avocado at all. She brings you your avocado roll and she loves Diet Coke. Brings you the Diet Coke. Now you sit there and what do you start to do? I don't like avocado.
I hate Coke.
I don't drink that, Chuck.
Why'd you bring me to this place? This restaurant sucks.
Yes. So the comparison to life is if you order your life, you dream, you get what you order. But most people do the whatever, and they don't even realize it. We spend more time and attention ordering our food than we do ordering our life. If you're not driving the car you love driving, if you're not living in the home or the place you like living, if you're not engaged in a relationship that you love or working a job that you absolutely love, then you did whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that example. Even as you were switching it and doing the whatever, I had a thought in my mind, literally saying, "Oh God, the waitress is going to bring me a Coke. I hate Coke." And then sure enough, it's a Diet Coke.
Yes.
And then you can hear that whole, which is where so many of us get stuck, right? Is it's so much of what we don't want, and then we don't get what we want, and so we're obsessed over getting what we didn't want.
Right.
Right.
What happens, take, for example, a car. Dream big. What would be your dream car? Just for fun. What would be your dream?
Let's do a house. Let's do a house.
Okay.
House. My car, I'm totally I have some back stuff, so I drilled my car totally off of what's finally like best, but
okay. Okay, your house.
I already have it for you. So it's the house has a secret passage in it. Okay, and I've been a fan of King Arthur stuff since I was a little kid, for as long as I can remember. So there's a secret passage in it, and in this secret passage, you hit the button and it opens up a secret door, like a book on a bookshelf, something like that.
Okay.
You go down this hallway, and in this room, there's a replica round table in it. And at this round table, everybody comes and they get together, and the idea of the round table is everybody's equal. No one's greater or more important than the king is. The king's equal to everyone else. And so everybody comes to this round table, and all the people I love and care about, they come and hang out here, and they talk about these really cool ideas about making big changes in the world and empowering people. But we also have this awesome entertainment set up where there's a cool bar with all like the fancy drinks, and there's a popcorn machine there and everything.
Fun.
It's like a little paradise.
See, so that's a dream, and what I would do and what I've done is I try to find a picture of what that house would look like. What does that table look like? What does that room look like? I can already visualize the popcorn machine, and I can smell it, and it sounds like such a fun time. And place it on a vision board, because your mind, I don't know if you've ever heard of the reticular activating system, your RAS. Once that dream is thought out and you put as much detail as you can, just like ordering at that restaurant, You knew exactly the post Corona sushi roll. We already know what it looks like. We can feel the texture in our mouth. We can smell it. Once that starts to happen, your RAS system starts moving you in the direction to have that happen. It's almost like your internal genie. So back to your question of what do I say to people who dream? You got to dream. What do you want? Order your life. I have ordered my cars. I've ordered down to my pets. And people say, well, that's crazy. Well, I like English bulldogs. I don't particularly want a Doberman Pinscher.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if we're ordering a life and it's my life to live, I really want it to be filled with everything that I actually want. Just like I would go to a restaurant, the sushi and the soup may be great, but I don't want soup. I want sushi, and I want a particular sushi. So one of the hardest things for us to do is, one, really know what we want, because we start hearing our belief system come in that, one, you don't deserve it. Two, that's too materialistic. Three, you can't afford that. I wasn't raised that way. So what's it going to be like to go from not really having things, being simple, to having a Lamborghini, if you would, or a Porsche, or, the house with the secret passage. Our belief system starts to kick in that we don't deserve that. So you have to get into a place where you start dreaming big, where it scares you. And you have to start, or this is what I did, is, why don't I deserve it? What if I get that? And not give in to, I can't afford it. Because this is your life. This is your dream. You don't walk into a restaurant and say, oh, I can't afford this. I can't afford that. Just give me whatever. And we don't realize that doing that whatever in our life, we stop dreaming, because you don't even believe that you deserve to live in a beautiful home, or have a beautiful mate, or have children, or have, I retired or didn't have to work anymore when I turned 40. That's unheard of. But I want that. It's not that I don't work. I still work, but I didn't want to have to work anymore. And that came as a big dream. And that came, it was scary. It was very scary when you can't pay your electric bill or your gas bill, or you choose between which one you're going to pay. It's pretty scary to think at 40, I'm not going to have to work anymore. But it's all a process, and it starts with the dream. And when you get excited, like I watched you when you're talking about that house, you just got so excited about that. That's what your dream should do for you. And then when you match the picture and you see it on a vision board, somewhere where you see it all the time, that's exciting. And then when it actually happens, that's even more exciting.
God, there's so much I want to ask you about that. I hear a lot of people talking right now about, I just can't wait till it goes back to normal. But so many of those people who want to go back to normal are in such a place of fear, which, based off of what you're saying, right, is basically it's inviting them. Their vision is of going back to more fear, more uncertainty, more instability, and more not living a life that's their dream in some way, right? Because if you were still living your dream life, this would be a disruption to it, but not the end of it. So I get, my first question is why is it important that our dreams scare us? And then the second piece of it is how important is it to have that visual feedback, like a vision board or something like that, for people to just remind themselves on or focus on daily?
Well, when you're, for me, the dreams, we all have an inner desire to have fun, to be happy. And when you dream of things, and I ask thousands of people, what would make you happy? People always say money. Well, I don't believe money makes you happy.
Yeah.
Money's, a venue, gives you more choices. Yes. But when you choose to be happy, that's just a choice. You're going to choose to be happy whether you're, sitting up on a hill overviewing the Pacific Ocean or under a rock in a desert. You choose to be happy. But people who dream, I think sometimes we don't dream big enough because we think we only deserve so much. I tell people or ask people all the time, dream of what you want. And they always pick one thing. Like, I want one car, one house. Well, why don't you want 10 houses?
Mm.
What if you had a house on every beautiful place in the world that you've ever been to? What if you had 7 cars, one for every day of the week? I know that sounds crazy. And there's some people out there that say that would be amazing. So when I say dream and create a dream, do it so that it scares you, because it psychologically changes you when it comes true. I shared the story earlier where my husband was told he could never have children. He and his first wife went through multiple tests and it just wasn't going to happen. My husband is adopted, and he adopted 2 children in his first marriage. And he's just an amazing, amazing man. I mean, I hit the lottery with him. And when he told me he couldn't have children, I asked him, is that something you've ever wanted? He goes, I would love to be connected to somebody. And I said, okay. So that was my dream to God, my wish. Dear God, bless us with children, his own biological children, so he could experience his greatness in other people. And sure enough, I'm pregnant. Now, that was very scary for me. Mind you, I'd been a teacher most of my life, been around children my whole life. I didn't have this strong maternal need to have children, but I had the desire for him to experience that. And I tell you, our children today are him. They are him. My daughter and him spend the weekends together. They have the same interests. They have the same level of energy. But that dream scared me because, 1, I'd never had children. And 2, scientifically, it wasn't supposed to happen.
Wow.
You'd already been told. So when that happened, that leveraged me to a whole different level of dreaming, because now I knew anything was possible, to the point that when my daughter was born, we got home from the hospital, I put a picture of a little boy on my vision board. My daughter's 3 months old. I'm pregnant with our son. So it kind of gives you a little momentum, like, okay, I dreamt big and I got it. So now I'm really like going to go even bigger. So that's what I encourage. Because if you go little, not that little dreams aren't good, whatever works for anybody is what works. But why not go for that bigger? Why not? And we tend as humans to put time limits on things. I don't have enough time to get that, or I don't have enough time. Don't get stuck in that. Just order it. Order it.
Do you feel, Anne-Marie, that most people, the reason do you feel that the reason most people are in a place of fear, uncertainty, or they find themselves in that distress is because they haven't challenged themselves to dream?
I think that's fair to say that. I think, you take little children. You take a 4-year-old and you ask them, what are you going to be when you grow up? And they're going to go big. They're going to be, the president, or they're going to be Spider-Man or Batman or Wonder Woman or whoever. There's no limits, and they will just ramble on. What kind of car are you going to drive? What kind of house are you going to live in? What are you going to, oh, I'm going to have my own plane and I'm going to fly. Or, you know, some kids even want to fly. And somewhere as we grow up, we lose that. And, you know, being an educator, I've seen it. I've seen teachers say, that's silly. You're never going to fly. That's silly. You're not going to ever be the president. And we start to allow that to infiltrate us. And then you end up at high school, you ask kids, what do you want to be? I don't know. How do you not know what you want to be? You wanted to be a president when you were 4. You wanted to be Spider-Man. You wanted to be Oprah. You wanted to, and now you're in high school and you don't know. But we do that. And I think it's so important as parents, we encourage our kids to dream, that they watch us dream and they see that our dreams are coming true, that they see us actively engaged in positive thoughts, that we keep our environments positive. And, you know, we don't watch the news in our house because I just choose to have a really positive environment. We play music, we dance, we laugh. And I figure if the news is bad enough, I'll hear it or read, you know, a little glimpse of it. But I think we've lost teaching our kids to dream. My kids have vision boards. They've had them since they were able to know what that was. So at 3, you know, my son's always loved animals. So he's got nice animals on his vision board, and he's 15 now. So, you know, I think as adults, you can shift that. There's an abundance of books out there, and you just have to get back to that 4-year-old child and, you know, what is it that you really, really want? When I work with people, I find that the hardest thing that we do is figuring out what people want. Because you find a 35-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 70-year-old, they have no clue. No clue. And we work through this process, and then after you see them light up and they'll get that same look you did. Like, oh, wow, I'd love to go to Hawaii, or I'd love to, and you see it ignite again. And that's the part where once you start the dreaming and you start what you want, you've got to be careful for that belief system, that it doesn't come back and say, you don't deserve it. You're too old. You don't have that kind of money. You're not the right fit. And you have to just ignore that. And there's plenty of books out there that teach you the techniques on how to do that.
Marie, there's so much more I want to ask you. And in the interest to be respectful of your time, I'll just ask you one final question. Holding that intention that the person who needs to be watching this right now needs to be hearing this. They're feeling this. They're with us. They're in this. What is the one thing that they need to hear right now that helps them take that next step, whatever that next step is for them?
So you only get what you order. So if you don't like your life right now, you have to take 100% responsibility that that's what you created, because you did the whatever. So I challenge you, order the life you want. Figure out who needs to be in your life. What is it that you want? What, at the end of the day, when you're sitting in your rocking chair, like Tony Robbins says, I want you to have a life that you tried and you dreamt and you lived, not regrets and not fear. So take the plunge. Take a piece of paper today and just start writing, what do you want in your life? What is it? You want that incredible husband? You want that loving relationship? You want that incredible, nurturing wife? You want relationships that are loving and nurturing? What is it that you want? And it's yours to order. Just do it. Do it. Have fun with it. Don't do anything that doesn't bring you joy. You know, life's got to be, I have fun every day. I laugh every day. So whether I'm outside pre-coronavirus or quarantined, we're having a blast. And it's, you know, you are where you are, you, wherever you go, there you are. So choose to be happy, choose to dream, choose to watch some of these things happen in your life. And, you know, start with little things, but have fun, live life.
Everyone, this has been absolutely incredible, and you need to rewatch. There is so much sage-like wisdom here from just allowing yourself to dream and allowing yourself to be passionate and excited about life, that wherever you are, the past does not have to equal the future,
Right.
nor does it even have to be the present, because your new future can start in this very moment right now. The worst thing you can do, right, is turn this off and do nothing, but really, you know, go on Google and look up what your dreams look like. Grab a pen and paper, write things down. And I love the notion of to dream and allow it to scare you and to be excited about it, because you need no more evidence than look back at the two examples she gave where we were going to the sushi restaurant, how excited I could be, but then how disappointed I was when I whatevered my order, or when I was talking about my dream little secret passage roundtable thing. That's been a dream that is so near and dear to my heart, and I can literally feel anytime somebody asks me that child come back and be excited and energized about that. And what a beautiful way to live in a way that to be so deeply connected to your dreams that you get to be experience excitement and joy in the moment. I think that there is so much that each of you can take away from this. And whether you're already dreaming big and living big and you want to dream and live bigger, or if you're just on your journey of dreaming and you're looking at this time, this pause right now to assess your life and ask, what do you really want your life to become beyond right now? Because time is going to pass no matter what, as they say. So really, really be intentional on how you want to pass the time. Anne-Marie, this has been absolutely crazy amazing, to borrow a phrase. And I'm so grateful for you sharing your wisdom, your magic, your blessings with us. This has been incredible. Thank you.
Aw, thank you. Thank you. And much happiness and success to all of you, and order your life.
Yes. We'll see you next time, everybody, on another edition of A Handful of Hope. Bye-bye.